Okay, everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do A Little Monsters, issue number 1 by Image Comics, made by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. I picked this up because it looked interesting, and there are three covers, and one I didn't like, one I did like, but that cover gave away too much, in my opinion. So I go with this cover, who is also, this cover is also made by the artist Nguyen, Dustin, and looked very interesting. I mean, this whole vibe, then with the blood red here, and immediately piqued my interest. This is a black and white comic with splashes of red, and that's the theme. Maybe you already figured out what's going on or not, but I'm gonna tell you step by step. So, and there's a lot of spoilers because there's not much things going on, but at the same time there is. I know, confusing, but let's dive in. So we are meeting with Romy, and Romy is one of the group of children that lives in the area. And you can say, hey, what happened here? What happened to the city? Well, it seems that there is some post-apocalyptic event or not, or maybe some kind of a dystopian thing that happened. We don't know. There's nothing, no narrative that tells us what's going on for now. Basically, this is more an introduction about the children, the little monsters that are living there. Okay, well, I just gave it away already. And then we are meeting with Yuri, then we're meeting with Lucas, and Lucas is playing the guitar, and Yuri said, hey, what you doing? Nothing, just working on a song. He says, oh. And she sits next to him, said, mind if I sit here and listen? And he says, whatever, man. Well, that's not what he's saying, but he says, whatever. And he plays a little bit of song, and we have this blood red moon. And then we're getting introduced to a twins who are standing on the building, and they are, goading, bickering with each other. He says, you first. He says, no way, this was your idea, the other one says. And says, yeah, I was too. And now you're going to chicken out. And he says, no, we're going to do this together. Yeah. So he jumps from I don't know how high, and he breaks his legs. And the other one says, you're such a loser. And they're being introduced as Ronnie and Raymond. And he says, well, basically the other one tricked him. And he says, get down here and help me. Gonna take all day to heal. Okay, interesting. Then we're getting introduced to Billy, Bats, and Vicky. And they're playing a game, Capture the Flag. And Billy is, being fed up. He says, listen, I'm not going to play anymore. And Vicky says, you quitting? You don't want to play again? Not really, he says. So what's your problem? Nothing. It just gets boring. Then we go back to, what's his name? Romy. I'm sorry, I probably cannot remember all of these names in one go. So Romy is, scourging around town, and he finds a backpack, and this is some kind of a stuffed octopus doll. He throws it away, and then he finds a box with pencils. That's his thing. I'm going to show you a little bit later. So he walks away, and then he thinks and comes back and takes the octopus with him. So yeah, there is a lot of visual storytelling here. We're getting little by little, we're getting introduced by these characters that are, the main focus of the book, and a little bit of hints of their personalities. But we don't know what's going on. What has happened to the town? Is this in present day? Is this in the future? What happened to the kids? Or why do they, jump off buildings and only break their legs instead of, die? It's getting revealed. And if you're figured out, so we go back to Yuri and Lucas, Yuri says at one, to Lucas, do you ever keep track of all the songs you write? Yeah, he says, not really. I just play them for a while and kind of forget it, and then I write new ones. And then she says something interesting. She says, you think you've ever written the same song twice? And then he thinks and he says, I don't know, maybe. So that gives us a little bit of a hint because she says, it's weird what stuff we remember and what things we don't. And Lucas says, well, I don't want to think about that. I just stopped worrying about that a long time ago. Then we see a group of people of these kids hunting for rats, and they are biting into them. So yeah, these little kids are vampires. Yes, they're living off rats, and it seems that there is no humans there, and I'm not sure if they ever saw a living being. And so these two twins are fighting again, and Vicky says something that could lead to something in the future. She says, one of these nights you two are going to kill each other. Maybe there's nothing, maybe it's nothing here, but when somebody says like that and they are just messing around, yeah, who knows? Billy is freaking out. He says, God, aren't you sick of this? So sick of what? This, doing the same stuff every night. Capture the flag, check, jumping off buildings, all of it. And Vicky says, oh no, don't start again on this, Billy. He said, what? There's a whole world out there. I just wanted to do something else. So yeah, it seems that these kids are here for a very, very, very long time. They don't have interaction with other kids or creatures or human beings. They only have each other. Basically, are they orphans? Or we don't know when they were turned, how long ago, and who did the turning. All I know is they speak about that he comes back at some point. Billy doesn't believe that. Billy says, you still don't believe that he's coming back? And then the other one says, yeah, well, of course he's coming back. And he says, it's been, 100 years now? Maybe more? And but Billy believes they are on his own. Skipping a couple of pages, I have to. So it seems that the suns are coming up. But Rowie is not back. And Vicky says, well, he's doing some stupid drawings and lost track of time again. So Billy says at one point, well, I'm the fastest. I'm going to look for him. Don't worry. So he's looking around town while the others go to bed and the sun is coming up. And he said, hey, Romy, it's time for bed. Just come over here. And then he sees all these drawings that has also color. And then he turns around and he hears something. And the narrative changes too. The narrative says, but it turns out they aren't alone after all. And this is the night everything would change. And we see the small vampire teeth and the red in his eyes. So I believe Billy never saw a human in his life before. Well, maybe he doesn't know, or, well, maybe it's 100 years back that he saw a human. And he's bleeding. Well, you know how vampires react towards blood. And then we also have a glimpse about he. And this cover looks freaking awesome. I ordered issue 2 as well. I also pre-ordered Ghost Cage because it's also black and white and it looks, I don't know, it just looks weird and awesome at the same time. Yeah, so when I first read the comic, I didn't know what to expect and I didn't like it. Why? Because I had an other thing in my mind what it would be. So I read it again and again, and then I decided to take a step back and see what this comic actually is instead of what I wanted it to be. And what I wanted it to be is, let's say this is probably way better than what I want it to be, because what I want it to be is, it's been done before many, many times over. It's what I expect when it comes to vampires. And this is a nice twist on that. Because we don't see these little kids as real monsters. I mean, not yet. I mean, they look normal, but they are bored. They're living for a very long time. They are not vicious or, you know, try to kill everything inside because there's no one there. They're just, you know, going through the motions. So yeah, I started to appreciate it, and I'm wondering where this is going. I'm really interested now. Although there's this more visual storytelling, there's not much going on. Instead of, you know, an introduction to certain characters and their behavior. And I like that. I really like that. Although this is a small glimpse, there's, like I said, there's not much there, but it sets up what's to come. And what's to come, I'm very curious about that. I'm looking forward to that. So that leads me to the end of the video. That's all I got for now. I'm coming back soon. Guys, let me know what you think about this. Leave a comment, give me a like, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.